Hi guys, just so you know, this video is about mental health care. We talk about stuff that's kind of sensitive, and this video is gonna be long and feely and emotionally, so just as a heads up. And yes, I am struggling to type with one hand and spell with one hand, so yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video. And by long, I do mean this video is almost 40 minutes. Alright, anyway, love you guys. Okay, hi. Warming up a little bit. Hi, I'm Skara, and if you guys are new here, this is Skara's Afterlife, a channel about my mental health journey and things I like to do for fun in my life, basically, on occasion. With me today I have a jar of dirt, a sandwich, and tea, because in today's video we're going to be talking about my mental health slash physical health, self slash life. So we're going to start off with my analogy that, as some of you know, we're on a mental health journey, and you've been part of it, seeing like the last couple of vlogs where or sit down chat videos about this. I don't know, but basically my brain space right now is like this jar of dirt. This was supposed to be my terrarium, and then I decided to put a mushroom inside it, like a spore mushroom, and now it's all dead, to the point where like I'm going to have to reset everything in here and clean it out completely and try to relearn almost everything. Which is why when I saw it, because I was wobbling on upstairs this morning to get myself a sandwich, I thought, just like my mind, it's a jar of dirt. A jar of dirt and old dead moss and fake logs. Yeah, so that's why this is here. So, get cozy, friends, because they are about to experience a story time. A story time slash what the heck is going on, because I thought about vlogging the whole process, and I wanted to vlog the whole process. And then I realized I'm a very deep, emotional, feely kind of person, and when I tried to vlog, like attending therapy sessions and diagnosis day, I was like, I cannot possibly sit in front of a camera and try to form sentences. So here we are, a few days later, and I'm going to tell you guys what exactly has been going down. Okay. So, on February 21st, 2023, me and my mom decided to go to my appointment at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay, little me waddling on in, and the reason why we're going to this doctor appointment is not because like anything's broken or I'm like throwing up. I don't even have COVID. I'm still attending this appointment. And normally when you're attending like a doctor's appointment, there's something wrong, or you're going in for your yearly checkup. Which either way, like, you might get stabbed, you might not. But this is like a different kind of appointment. So previously, in previous years, I had been diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Already knew that. Already taking meds for that. However, I kind of failed 3 semesters of college. I like to learn, but I can't contain any information in my poor little brain. And so we're going to this doctor to see what's up, what's going down. And as it turns out, I'm a completely oblivious person because my mom has been trying to get me diagnosed with ADD since I was in kindergarten. And now I'm almost 20. So you can see how that's a bit of a complication because now I'm trying to live on my own and become my own adult person. And I'm hardcore struggling here, you know? So yeah, we waddle on in and I'm thinking, this is it. This is diagnosis day. I'm gonna walk in there and be like, oh yeah, you have ADD. Your life problems can be fixed. We're gonna give you a little bit of pay attention medicine and you can hop back into your life and go to school, be smart, get that degree, pull that hustle, live your life, and become a full-grown adult and continue to be you as a person. Then I went in. And then I sat down with the doctor, just me, doctor. We chatting about my life. And I didn't exactly realize, like, I'm a very self-aware person, or at least I'm told so. So how I completely missed this, I have no idea, is that I'm extremely antisocial. Like, I love my friends dearly and sincerely, and I love them to the death of the world. However, I hang out with them maybe, like, if we're not in the same class, once a month, if we're like at the same school, or outside of school, like maybe once or twice a year. And that's solid for me. I'm good. Sounds nice. It's extremely hard for me to make friends because I am not necessarily the best at people-to-people communication. Partially because my brain can't stay on topic. Also partially because I can read people's intentions but not really understand, like, the social thing. I love learning from people and about people and taking interest in anything and everything they're doing and their feelings, their lives, all that. However, I cannot stay on one topic for hours on end unless I'm super close with a person and it's one-on-one conversation with said person. And I'm explaining this to my doctor. I'm sitting there and I'm like, why do I feel extremely uncomfortable in this situation? I thought it was maybe because the like doctor's office I've never been in, and like this specific doctor's office was like extremely organized and like extremely, it had no personality to it whatsoever. And later I found out it's because this doctor kind of travels around, and so this is kind of like the generic doctor office for traveling around doctors. I don't know. But I was sitting there and my mommy waltzes in because the doctor wants some information about my history from her perspective on everything that's going on. And the doc is like, yes, you have ADD and we can give you medication to fix that. And I'm like, thank you, sir. We are getting somewhere. I'm going to be better and continue to live my life to the fullest extent. However, we sat there a little bit longer because the doctor is also sending us tests in the mail, communicating with his entire team, trying to figure out who, what, where, when, to get me tested. And for what, you may ask? Autism. They're going to test me for autism and learning disabilities. I thought it was normal to like walk around outside and casually just sing to yourself, hum to yourself, listen to music, spin around in the forest feeling like a magical fairy, like daily, because you know, I watched Disney movies growing up, and what else are you supposed to do in your free time than spin around being a magical girl, magical girly out in the forest. And like growing up, I never like played with my toys to talk to each other, and I didn't do a whole lot of talking. I was just mostly quiet because I was like, I don't see the point. And even now, I think that I prefer not talking with people. Like, I enjoy it sometimes, but I also know that I'm currently trying to learn how to sign, because that's sign language for sign, I think, because I think that's way much cooler than talking, honestly, because of how loud people can be and how aggressive it can be. So yeah, I dabble in that, and apparently that's just, those can be signs and symptoms of autism apparently, so they're having me tested and assessed, and so they think I might have autism. So whereas my ADD journey has come to an end, which took months and like a ton out of me, which is why I didn't go to school this semester, because doctor like appointments are consistent, and like we're trying to fix what's wrong to the point where I'm also going to the chiropractor 2 times a week to get my spine aligned, because apparently if your neurons, your nervous system can't communicate right with your body, it can cause a ton of problems. So like in February alone, I've had doctor appointments every week, and sometimes more than once a week. And we also threw in therapy because I have social anxiety and all that fun stuff. So that is basically what has gone down. I am now on medication for my ADD so I can focus, and later in this video I will try to give you guys an exact, just like an online description of what these mental illnesses are. Like, I'm also diving in and trying to do research on autism, because like I don't know anything about autism at all. I never really learned about any of this until I got diagnosed with these things, because it's crazy to me that I've never even like thought to research about this kind of stuff until it started affecting my daily life. I'm sniffing. Also, if you guys happen to see stains on my hoodie, I know. But yeah, so I'm not in school at the moment. I was going to school previously for those 3 semesters I completely botched for computer engineering. And then I kind of gave up on my existence and decided to reformulate my entire life. And I switched colleges, so now I'm going to a whole new college and majors. So I'm gonna go for marketing. I think that might change, and instead of getting a bachelor's, I'm getting an associate's. So, you know, we're figuring things out. It's definitely a lot, a hard pill to like swallow, and because of everything that's happening, I like honestly feel like I'm neglecting all my friends, which I'm like, I swear I love you, and the whole core of my personality feels like, with very few people I have in my life, they need to know they're loved and appreciated, but also I have like a bajillion hobbies that also aren't getting the same amount of attention like they used to, like cosplay, hiking, basketball, volleyball, painting, drawing, writing poetry, reading, watching anime. I don't know if that counts as a hobby. I wanted to get into fencing too, but also my brain's like, what is this? Learning about plants, learning about space, like all these random hobbies I have, like growing plants and stuff. Like, honestly, the majority of my hobbies have been put on hiatus, it feels like, from even making like webtoons. Like, I had this comic I was working on since freshman year of high school that I have decided to completely stop, and eventually I deleted the comic off of Webtoon because I was like, it's not going anywhere, and if I'm going to create a story, I'm going to do it right. So if that ever comes back, you guys will probably be one of the first people to know, other than the people who are clearly in my support system and helping me survive through this craziness that is life. Also, the reason these two are here, sandwich and tea to calm my nerves, because this is a lot of emotional information and sensitive topics, I feel like. And as a heads up, this is just my journey, my experience with these kinds of things. Again, not a medical professional at all. And if you are in any similar position to me, I highly encourage going to get professional help, because as like hard as it is, I feel like, because it takes time and it takes energy and help from people, even especially if you're stubborn and like to refuse help. It is very nice to know that there is a team of people helping you figure out problems and making your life easier, because apparently it's not supposed to be this hard to live, to help you succeed and grow and become your best self, so that one day you can walk around on this planet reaching all your goals and ambitions and creating the life you want to live. And knowing that there are people out there to help you with that is amazing. And you also, like, I should clarify, like, it feels so nice. Like, I feel like I'm not as much as a burden to especially medical professionals, because I know that, like, this is their job. They want to be here and they are making a living off of doing this. So I'm not, like, intruding on them like I feel like I am with family members. Like, I'm not being a burden on anyone who's a medical professional. With my family, I feel like it's really hard, especially like friends and family, because I'm like, listen, I'm going through this right now, and you don't have to stay here. You don't have to be here for this. It's a really big burden. It's excruciating long process and time consuming, emotionally draining, physically draining, everything as such. But if you do stay, know that I will like love you 10 times, bajillion times more, somehow magically. Like, I don't think that's possible, but when I like reach this kind of all-time low, the people who really stayed and communicated with me and listened to me, I think that my respect for them just grew so much, and I care about them. Like, my care for them has like surfaced so much more, and it's definitely built trust between me and them. But yeah, and it's so crazy to think about, because like when you go into like the therapy or the doctor's office to talk about these kinds of things, the first appointment I feel like is always the hardest, because they want your entire history of existence, and then you have to verbally say it. And for me, I'm a verbal processor, and so when I had to remind myself like I had a stalker in middle school, I was like, wow, wow, things are starting to make a little more sense why I'm very hesitant to be around people who I do not know and make new friends, because that, my friends, is a creepy experience and maybe a story for another time. I don't know. I don't talk about it that often because, again, that was creepy. Very creepy. But yeah. So that has been what's going on so far. So currently, our mental health journey has extended to see whether or not I have autism or whether or not I have learning disabilities, which is entirely possible because I do have family members with autism. And you know, I just never really thought about it. I see people as themselves, but I feel like when I get diagnosed with mental illnesses, I'm like, what is this? I must know everything and anything about it. Because genuinely finding out, like when I found out I had ADD, it was like, so you mean all those times I couldn't possibly focus or get everything done in my life, like all of those things, wasn't just because I was a bad kid or wasn't just because I was a lazy person. It was because my brain is built differently. Like, that takes a minute to process, you know? Like, just, it's a lot. A lot. Yeah. But I am going to probably look on my phone for the definitions, in case you don't know what I'm talking about.
Because I don't want to be wrong when I say things. American Psychiatric Association. Depression, a massive depressive disorder. This is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. It is treatable. Depression causes feelings of sadness and or loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can decrease your ability to function at work and at home. And then it proceeds to list all the symptoms. So,
there's that one. That one.
From the American Psychological Association. Quick. Quick. Anxiety is an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, and physical changes like increased blood pressure. People with anxiety or disorders usually have reoccurring intrusive thoughts or concerns. They may avoid certain situations out of worry. They may also have physical symptoms such as sweating, trembling, dizziness, or rapid heartbeat. Anxiety is not the same as fear, but they are often used interchangeably. Anxiety is considered a future-oriented, long-acting response broadly focused on a diffused threat, whereas fear is an appropriate, present-oriented, and short-lived response to a
clearly identifiable
and specific threat. According to the Cambridge Dictionary. I think I clicked the wrong one because... Yeah, don't do this to me. ADD. Add 1 plus 1. Sorry. So, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or hyperdeficit disorder. Same categories. ADHD is marked by an ongoing pattern of inaction or hyperactivity impulsivity that interferes with the functioning or development. People with ADHD experience ongoing pattern of the following types of symptoms: inattention, hyperactivity, impulsivity. I don't know how else to explain that. Again, doing lots of research. I'll get back to you. Autism. or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication, according to the Centers of Disease Control. Yeah. So, there's a lot to learn, clearly. I'm still learning. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah. It's a lot to think about.
It can be very challenging to go and listen to people explain what's going on with you, especially if you were like me when I was told I should get assessed for these kind of things, because in my head I'm just existing, I'm just being myself, and it's interesting to hear people be like, that's not neurotypical, it's different, and we just want to make sure that it doesn't get in the way of your success. And hearing that is very strange, because it's very strange to think that the way your brain works and has worked for like your entire life is different than everyone else you surround yourself with. It's very interesting because it's a weird concept. And I don't know, it was just something that kind of shocked me. But yeah, I feel like I definitely pushed away a lot of people when this happened. Not because it was something like I was embarrassed about or uncomfortable about, but I thought it was more of a burden and something that I didn't really want to affect the people I cared about. A lot of things with mental illnesses, I try to be very careful about bringing that up, because I don't want it to consume my identity of who I am as a person. And I feel like when you explain to people that you have certain conditions or certain illnesses or issues that you can't really heal completely, that's something that's going to stick with you and exist with you for your entire life. It's strange because I feel like some people change the way they act around you, and they kind of adapt to this new information with this new information. And like when I was explaining to some of my friends that I have anxiety and it's really bad, like I felt kind of guilty when they asked me what they could do to help me if I have a panic attack, to help ground me, to help me get back to the point where I could function again, because I don't want to have to make anyone in my life learn those things because of me. I don't want them to have to try and change for me or think about things that could possibly hurt or affect me consistently. I feel like that's a lot of responsibility to take on, and I would never ask anyone to do that. And so that was just a lot to think about, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to kind of just put it out there for people to see because of how they react. But as I kind of like thought about it, like the whole reason I created this like playlist journey kind of section on my channel is because I feel like it's hard and a lot of people struggle with it. Like people do struggle with this, and eventually I want to be able to look back and see how far I come in the future when everything has been diagnosed, everything has been found out, everything is okay, and I live on my own. I have a job, I can function in society as a person, because that's a goal I want. I want to be able to live on my own, have my own life, make my own relationships with people, and not need to rely on every other person in my life to make sure that I'm okay, I'm safe, and that I'm not forgetting like lit candles, the stove on, or whether or not I can or can't be in crowded places. So it's definitely a journey, and I think that it's hard to kind of express and say that to people. And so when I talk about these kinds of things, I smile a lot when I talk about them because I don't have to go to immense detail about every struggle I've ever had in life. But when I'm in the doctor's office, when I'm in therapy, I'm mostly all the time on the verge of tears or trying to learn something to make things better and easier. And it's hard to admit that you are struggling with something you can't even see. It's hard to admit to people that you're hurting, you're in pain, and you can't do certain things that everyone else seems to do, and you just can't explain why. And when someone finally gives you a reason, it seems unreal, I guess. And I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh, I'm on the verge of tears right now trying to explain this. But yeah, because whenever I talk about this with my friends or family, and go, yep, I just got diagnosed with a new issue, I'm normally smiling about it. I think it's just because I know that it's hard, but I also don't want to admit that it's hard to myself. I want to be able to think that it's something that will heal and be better. And it's not funny at all, really. But it's sometimes easier to just laugh, because I can't sit there and constantly remind myself about how hard everything is, and sit there and consistently think about how much I'm struggling, because that isn't gonna fix anything. It's not gonna make me happier as a person. It's not gonna make anyone else around me happier as a person. And I could not live that way, even if I wanted to. And so I try to keep things lighthearted when talking about topics like this as much as I can, just because it's not exactly fun. It's not easy. It's hard. It's tedious. It's long. And it hits you sometimes that it means that you're different than everyone else in a world where that's normally seen as a taboo thing. So it kind of hurts on occasion, but that doesn't mean I have to sit there and consistently think about how hard everything will be. I still get to wake up and look at the sun shine through my windows. I still get to wake up and remember I love cats so much. And I can sit there and I can be upset that I forgot something again and let someone down again, even after I've been told that it's not my fault. Or I can sit there, apologize and try to fix it, make it right. It's not an easy journey. It's not a fun journey. And I don't like people seeing me upset or hurt or in pain over this kind of thing, because the majority of people in my life can't exactly right away help with the issue, with the problem. And I'm not going to give them an issue that they can't fix. I'm not going to complain about it. Sorry, I was about to do an intro and it ended recording. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to join me on this journey, or if you are anything, going through anything like this, I want you to go seek help. Ask someone somewhere. But if you want to join me on my journey, if you want to see other content with me, because you like my personality, feel free to subscribe. And if this helped you in any way, please like this video. Like to see if I'm helping anyone, really. And as a reminder, this channel is meant to be a safe place for everyone. Place to be loved and cared about. So if you guys do want to share your stories, or even just send support to each other, you can definitely do so in the comments below. With much love and highest hopes for all you beautiful creations of the universe. I hope that you find the best trips and travels in your existence.